بسم الله الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الناصح الأمين اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين ثم أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, we continue going over the fifth pillar or the fifth article from the pillars and the articles of faith, and that is the belief in the hereafter. We've covered many points throughout these past few weeks dealing with that which is going to occur and appropriate and relative and related subject matters with regards to belief in the last day. That brings us now to our discussion as the Shaykh Hafidhahullah Ta'ala, he goes on and he says, ثُمَّ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ الْمَوَازِينَ, and then after that there will be the weighing. There will be the weighing. فَتُوزَنُ الْأَعْمَالِ, and the deeds, they will be weighed. الْحَسَنَاتِ وَالسَّيِّئَاتِ, the good deeds and the bad deeds, they're both going to be weighed. And on this point, قال ابن أبي عز قال ابن أبي العز في الشرح الطهاوية وثبتت الوزن الأعمال والعامل والصحائف الأعمال وثبتت أن الميزان له كفتان والله أعلم بما وراء ذلك من الكيفيات. This is a very important point, inshallah ta'ala, that I want everyone to get down and to write with regards to our belief in the mizan, our belief in the scale. Now, and especially the youth here, I want you to pay special attention, inshallah ta'ala, because this is something that needs to be on the mind of the youth just as it is on the mind of the elder. And that is that we are going to die and we're going to be resurrected, and our deeds, they will be weighed. So with regards to the mizan is al-mizan haqiqi. It's a true mizan. It's real. It's not something that is figurative, but it is that which is real. And with regards to that which will be weighed inside of it, as the Imam, the great Alim, Al-Alama, Ibn Abil Izz, he says in his explanation of Al-Tahawiyya, Al-Aqidah Al-Tahawiyya, he mentions that it has been confirmed. It has been confirmed, thabatat, that what will be weighed, will be the actions. The actions will be weighed. The deeds themselves will be weighed. Thabatat, that the actions will be weighed. And those who do the actions, the service themselves, will also be weighed. Likewise, the scrolls of actions will also be weighed. And it has been confirmed that the mizan, it has two scales. It has two scales. Kifatan, it has two scales. And Allah knows best with regards to that which is beyond that from the description of the mizan, because we restricted to what? To the text, to that which comes inside of the text. فَثَبَتَتْ, so it has been confirmed, or thubitat, it has been confirmed that these things will be weighed. And what are these things again? They are the actions will be weighed, the individuals will be weighed, the scrolls of deeds will be weighed, and the mizan, it has how many scales? Or how many? Had two scales, right? Or two, what do you call them thing? On the mizan, what you put the thing in? Allah, I don't know. I don't know what's called it. The platforms or the hands. The hands of the scale. You know what I mean? The scale has two hands. It has two of them. The plates are. I don't know the name for it. Allah, but it has two kaffatan. Naam. And the like. Ala kulli hal, what is important that we know is that the mizan, it is real. Naam, it is real. الميزان الحقيقي توضع الحسنات في كفة والسيئات في كفة. That the good deeds will be put inside on one side, one of its hands, one side of it, and the bad deeds will be put inside the other side. Naam. وقال الله تعالى, and Allah Ta'ala, He says, and this is when it becomes applicable for everybody who is alive and will have to go through this process to be very much concerned and aware and hyper-vigilant with regards to that which is going to be placed inside of the scales. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And whoever his scale is heavy, meaning his scale of good deeds, it is heavy, then verily these ones, they are the ones who are successful. وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ فِي جَهَنَّمْ خَالِدُونَ. And whoever his scale, it is light, meaning his scale of good deeds, it is light, then these are the ones who would have lost themselves. These were the ones who would have lost themselves, and they will be inside of the Jahannam forever. They will be inside the Jahannam, they will be inside the fire forever. Allah Ta'ala, He also says, فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. Allah Ta'ala, He says, and whoever his scale is heavy, meaning his scale of what? Of good deeds, then he will be in a pleasant life, meaning he will be inside the Jannah. And whoever his scale is light, meaning his deeds, his good deeds is what? Is light, then his abode will be the Hawiyah. His abode will be the fire. يعني موازين الأعمال, meaning the weighing of his actions. فتوضع الحسنات أو توضع حسناته في كفة وسيئات في كفة. So his good deeds will be put inside one side of the scale, and the bad deeds will be put inside the other side of the scale. فأيهما رجح فإنه يأخذ جزاءه بموجب ذلك من رجحان الحسنات أو رجحان السيئات. وهذا من عدل الله أنه لا يظلم أحدا بل يجازي الإنسان بعمله. It says, so whichever one is the heavier, then that which will come and be linked to his reward or punishment. Meaning that if the good deeds are heavy or the bad deeds are heavy, whichever one will outweigh the other, then this will determine that person's reward, whether he be rewarded or whether they will be punished. And this is from the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He does not oppress anyone, but rather the human being, he will get his reward based upon his own actions. The human being will get his reward based upon his actions, with the deeds that he put forward. وَهُوَ مِيزَانٌ حَقِيقِ, and it's a mizan that is real. It's real. وَالْمُعْتَزِلَةِ الْمُعْتَزِلَةِ وَهُمْ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْبِدْعَةِ. The Mu'tazila, هُمْ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْبِدْعَةِ, they are from the people of innovation. The Mu'tazila يقولون, they say, إِنَّهُ مِيزَانٌ غَيْرُ حَقِيقِ. They say it is a mizan that is not real. It's a mizan that's not real. وَهَذَا الضَّلَالَ بِلَا شَكٍّ. هذه الضَّلَالَ بِلَا شَكٍّ وَبِلَا رَيْبٍ. This is falsehood without any doubt about that. No one is confused about that fact. Naam. And the Mu'tazila, they say, إِنَّمَا مَعْنَاهُ إِقَامَةُ الْعَدْلِ. So I want you to be very aware if you hear something like this. If someone's talking about the mizan, and they say, what is meant by it is that justice will be established. There's a mizan, meaning justice will be established. Then take heed and be warned that this person is a Mu'tazili. this person is Mu'tazili, Bid'i. Be warned. If you hear someone speaking about the Mizan, and they're saying that what it really means is that justice will be established, then know for surety this person is Mu'tazili. This person is Bid'i. Naam, he's not upon the haqq, he's upon bid'ah. Naam, because the one they say, فَهُوَ مِزَانٌ مَعْنَوِي مَعْنَاهُ الْعَدَلِ بَيْنَ الْعِبَادِ. They say that it's a mizan that is figurative, that the mizan meaning is figurative. It's not something that is literal and actual, but it's figurative. And what it means is that there will be justice between the servants, justice between the slaves. وَلَيْسَ لَهُمْ دَلِيلٌ إِلَّا عُقُولُهُمْ. And they don't have a proof except for their intellect. They're Mu'tazila. They don't have a proof with them except for their intellect. And as we know, the intellect, when it comes to the matters of the ghaib, when it comes to the matters of the unseen, then this is not a proof. This is not a proof, and it has no weight, and we give it no credence. فَهُمْ يُنْكِرُونَ. So you will find that in actuality, the Mu'tazila, they deny it. They deny the Mizan. لِأَنَّهُمْ لَمْ يَرَوْنَ الْمِزَانِ. Because they haven't seen the Mizan. Now, because from their principles, they only believe in that which they can see, that which they can intellectually perceive. Anything that is beyond that, they don't want to believe in it. As we spoke about them before, we can't base our what we're going to acknowledge as being true based on what we see. How many things of it we don't see? We don't see our intellects, so then we disbelieve in our intellects. Now, we don't. There are many creatures that have yet to be discovered by human beings. Many creatures living in the ocean right now that exist, they are alive. So because we didn't see them, because we don't know about them, now they don't exist? Because we don't know? Nah, they still exist. It doesn't change anything. Now, it's like the old saying, it goes, if a, what they say, if a tree falls in a forest and no one is around, does it make a sound? Well, of course it makes a sound. People don't have to be there for it to make a sound. Now, ala kulli hal, this is what they believe in, the Mu'tazila. Is that if you can't see it, you can't rationalize it, it can't be grasped by your intellect, it's not true. And we understand that is the epitome of falsehood right there. Yeah, فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Because they don't believe in the ghaib. Therefore, they don't believe in the unseen. They don't believe in the unseen. Because their belief is restricted on that which they can see, that which they can intellectually comprehend and fathom. So they don't believe in the unseen. And the Shaykh says, وَهَذِهِ آفَاتُ الْإِعْتِمَادِ عَلَى الْعُقُولِ. And these are from the dangers and the harms of relying upon the intellect. This is from the danger and the harm of relying upon the intellect. لأن المؤمن لا يعتمد على عقله. Because the believer, he doesn't rely solely upon his intellect. يعني في كل شيء. He doesn't rely solely upon his intellect in every affair. العقل دليل ولكن لا يكون هو كل شيء. Because the aql, it is that which will help you to understand and to grasp things. Is that which will help you in understanding and grasping of things, but it is not everything. It is not everything. Because we know that our intellect, it has limitations. Our intellect, it has limitations. Now, so we acknowledge those limitations. And from the limitations of our intellect is when it comes to the matters of the unseen. When it comes to the matters of the unseen, our intellect is deficient. Now, when it comes to other matters as well, our intellect, you'll find it come up wanting, come up deficient. But especially when it comes to the matters of the unseen, our intellect is not equipped with that which will be able to figure out anything about the unseen. But rather, our intellect is that which allows us to understand that which we have been informed of. To understand that which we have been informed of from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But it is not there for us to argue and to be obstinate with regards to the text and that which we have been informed of. على كل حال هناك أشياء لا يدركها العقل. There are things in which the intellect, it will not be able to comprehend, to grasp and to fathom. فالأمور المغيبة لا يدركها العقل فلا تحكم عقلك فيها. When it comes to the affairs of the unseen, your intellect does not have the ability to grasp it. So therefore, do not utilize your intellect into understanding, or not utilize your intellect in trying to make decisions with regards to it. Okay? Your intellect does not have the ability to grasp it. Does not have the ability to know what is there, just based on your intellect alone. Based on your intellect, you're not going to know what is there. But you have to be informed about what is there, and your intellect will help you understand what you've been informed about. So with this being the case, we cannot rely upon the intellect. And this is what you find is the problem with the Mu'tazila, is that they rely upon the intellect and the likes of these matters, and this is why they are astray and they lead others astray. وَإِنَّمَا يُعْتَمِدْ فِيهَا عَلَى الدَّلِيلِ فَقَطْ. When it comes to the unseen, we have to rely upon the proofs and the evidences only. We have to rely upon the proofs and the evidences only. فَهَذَا وَجْهُ الْإِنْكَارِهِمْ لَهُ. And I want you to understand this very well. Because a pure denial of something is not restricted to just saying it doesn't exist. Okay? This is what some people don't understand. They believe that in order to deny something, you have to come out and say, I don't believe in the mizan. There's a way to deny believing in the mizan while articulating the word mizan and saying you believe in the mizan. I'm going to say this again. That there's a way of disbelieving and denying the mizan while saying mizan and that you believe in the mizan. How is this? This is because upon their madhab, the Shaykh he explains, وَعَلَى مَذْهَبِهِمْ الْبَاطِلِ أَنَّ الَّذِي لَا يُشَاهِدُونَهُ وَلَا يَرَوْنَهُ إِنَّهُمْ يُنْكِرُونَ. Because whatever they can't see or whatever they don't witness, then they deny it. أو يؤولونه بغير معنى, or they interpret it in other than its real meaning. They give to it a meaning that is contrary to its real meaning. And this is how they deny it. So you can deny something by saying no, there's no such thing as a mizan, and you can also deny it by twisting the meaning of the mizan until it is other than what it really is. That makes sense? You twist the meaning of the mizan until it's other than it really is. Now, فَهُمْ لَا يُنْكِرُونَ اللَّفْظَ الْمِيزَانِ. They don't deny the word mizan. Because they can't. They don't deny the word mizan لأنه ورد في القرآن, because it comes inside the Quran, the word mizan. So you don't find them denying the wording, but rather you find them what? Twisting the meaning and thus denying it. Now, because if you twist the meaning, you will thus be denying it in reality. Okay? طيب. Give you an example. This pencil here is white. Right? It's white. That's like a person coming, and we know the characteristics of white. Okay? Now if a person comes and he says, yeah, I believe that pencil is white, but it's a shade that resembles black, maybe purple, maybe even a little mixture of the two between black and purple, but it's white though. What are we going to say to that person? Then obviously you really don't believe that it's white, because you're giving to a characteristic that are foreign and opposite of white. Right? So even though you're acknowledging, yeah, we believe it's white, but white really look like black, then we're going to tell you that you really don't believe it's white. If you're thinking that, if you're still describing it as being black. Ala kulli hal, this is how they deny it, but they can't, the meaning of it in essence deny the reality of it. But they can't deny the wording. Why? Because the wording comes in the Quran. Like when Allah Ta'ala He says, وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقِّ, and the weighing on that day, the scale on that day will be true. فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. And whoever his scale is heavy, then these are the ones who are the successful ones. وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُ, and whoever his scale is light, فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ, then these are the ones who have lost themselves. بِمَا كَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يَظْلِمُونَ. They are the ones who have lost themselves because when it came to our ayat, they were wrongdoers due to their disbelief in them. Okay, so we see in this ayah here clear mention of mizan. Now that there's a weighing. So of course they're not going to come and say there's no mizan, because the Quran proves there is a mizan. So rather what they'll do is they'll take to trying to shift the meaning of mizan until there's something which it really isn't. So they come and they say, yeah, we believe in the mizan, but it's not a real mizan. It's something that is figurative, and it only means that there will be an establishment of justice between the ibad yawm al-qiyamah. But as far as a real mizan, no, that's not what it really means. So therefore they, in essence, what? Deny it, because the reality is that yawm al-qiyamah, there will be a mizan, not something that is figurative, not something that just comes bearing the meaning of the establishment of justice, but there will be a real mizan, wherein the slaves will be put, wherein the actions will be put, wherein the scrolls will be put, and thus. So this is something that is real, and it has what? Two hands. It has two sides of the scale. Allah Ta'ala, He says, as we mentioned, فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ, and whoever his scale is made heavy, فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ, then he will be in a pleasant life, to the end of the ayat, which clearly mention what? Mizan, that there is a mizan. The Shaykh, he says, فَلَا يُنْكِرُونَ لَفْظَ الْمِزَانِ أو لفظ الموازين, so they do not deny the actual articulation or expression or word mizan or weighing. They don't deny the actual word. ولكن يفسرونها ويحرفونها عن معناها, but rather they will give to it a false interpretation, and they will twist it and distort it beyond its meaning, from its true meaning. They will twist it and distort it from its true meaning, so thus it's beyond what? Its meaning. Naam. And this is an important concept to understand, because you will find many of Ahl Bid'ah are like this. Many Ahl Bid'ah are like this. They may accept the particular word, but then they twist the word until it means something different. And this equals a denial. It's important to understand that they may accept the word, but then they twist it until it's beyond its true meaning, and this is equal. This equates a denial. This equates a denial. Now, the Shaykh, he says, كما هو حالهم مع سائر النصوص التي تخالف عقولهم يحرفونها عن معناها الصحيح. The Shaykh, he says, and likewise you find the Mu'tazila. This is how they are when it comes to all of the texts that go against their intellects. They will distort it from its true meaning. They will distort it from its true meaning. Naam. So thus, distorting from its true meaning, it equals what? Equals denial. Naam. Ahsant. وَأَمَّا أَهْلُ الْحَقِّ, but the people of the truth, فَإِنَّهُمْ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أو يُؤْمِنُونَ بِهَا عَلَى حَقِيقَتِهَا. But those people of the truth, they believe in it upon its reality. They believe in it upon its reality. نعم. وَيَكِلُونَ كَيْفِيَّتَهَا إِلَى اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ, and they return its description. They return its description to Allah Azza wa Jal. نعم. So the reality of the description in which it has outside of those things which come to us in the text, then Allah Ta'ala knows best. We know its description, that it have two hands and so on and so forth, but with regards to exactly how it looks and that, Allah Ta'ala knows best. We just know it has two hands, the serpent will be weighed, his deeds will be weighed, the scrolls will be weighed, so on and so forth. But in regards to actually how it looked and things like that, Allahu A'la wa A'lam, we have not been informed about the details in this manner, so we believe in that which we have been informed in, and what is beyond that, we refer it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, ثُمَّ هُنَاكَ تُطَيِّرُ الصُّحُفِ, then after that will be the handing out of the scrolls. The scrolls will be handed out. Now, Allah Ta'ala, He says, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ, and for the one who gets his book inside of his right hand. And for the one who gets his book inside of his right hand. Now, those who get their books inside their right hand, who are these? These are the ones who are going to be happy or sad? These ones are going to be happy. Naam, ahsant. So those who get their book inside of the right hand, فَيَقُولُ هَا أُمُقْرَؤُ كِتَابِيَهِ, the one who get his book in his right hand, he's going to say happily, right? Look, read it, read my account. He's going to be happy. He's going to be happy. He's going to say, here, read my record, read it. It's like the individual when he's in school. Remember when we used to be in school when we was real little, and you might do good on your paper, and the teacher, she give you stars, right? Or he give you stars. He put stars in your paper, smiley, whatever, and that, and you get happy, right? But you turn around, you show the class, I got an A. so on and so forth. Now, okay, this is the happiness now, getting your book in your right hand that you have never experienced. You have never experienced. You have never experienced. You're talking about happy upon happy upon happy upon happy upon happy upon happy upon happy. They'll be so rejoiced that they will turn and they will say, look, read my book. Naam. Unto Allah Ta'ala's statement, وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِشِمَالِهِ. But for the one who gets his book inside of his left hand, and he'll get his book beside his left hand, in front of him or behind him? Behind him. He'll get it in his left hand, behind him, behind his back. Now, this one he will say, فَيَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أُوتَ كِتَابِيَهْ. He will say, woe unto me, I wish I never received my book. I wish I never received my record. Now, the Shaykh goes on and he says, ثُمَّ بَعْدَ هَذِهِ الْأَحْوَالِ كُلِّهَا هُنَاكَ صِرَاطٌ. Then, after this, after all of this has taken place, there will be the sirat. And the sirat, منصوبا أي صراط منصوبا على متن جهنم. It will be a bridge that will go across the hellfire. A bridge that will go across the hellfire. And as it comes inside of the authentic hadith, this bridge will be thin as a blade of hair, sharp as a very sharp blade. Naam. And the servants will go over this bridge. The Shaykh goes on and he says, وَالصِّرَاطُ هُوَ الطَّرِيقُ وَهُوَ مَا يُسَمَّى بِالْقَنْطَرَةِ عَلَى مَتْنِ الْجَهِيمِ. That the sirat, it is it means a way, and it is that which is like a bridge over the hellfire. A ala wasat al-jahim, meaning it goes straight directly across it. It goes straight directly across the middle of the hellfire. يمر الخلائق كلهم على هذا الصراط. All of the creation, it will go across the sirat. The Shaykh says, وهو أدق من الشعر. And it is more thin, it is thinner than a piece of hair. Now, pay attention. Y'all come sit right here. One right here, one right there. Right here. It is thinner than a piece of hair. وَأَحَدُّ مِنَ السَّيْفِ. And it is sharper than a sword. Sharper than a sword. Naam. وَأَحَرُّ مِنَ الْجَمْرِ. And is hotter than coals. Hotter than coals. Naam. You know coals? Like when you put the coal inside the barbecue and it get red like that? Hotter than that. Hotter than that. Thin as hair, sharper than a sword, hotter than coals. يَمُرُّ النَّاسِ عَلَيْهِ عَلَى قَدْرِ أَعْمَالِهِمْ. The people will go across it in accordance to their deeds. So how important are good deeds now? A little bit important or a lot important? A lot important. Very important. Because the people will go over it as fast as what? As the deeds they put forward. So if they put forth really, really, really good deeds, was extremely righteous individual, then he will go across it very what? Very quickly. But if he come with a little bit of good deeds and the like, he may not make it across. And if he does, it might be going to be very, very, very slow. Now something that has a description, thinner than a piece of hair, sharper than a blade, hotter than coals. You want to take your time across that? Do you? Huh? No. And the Shaykh is going to mention the states of the people who cross it to the varied degrees in which they will cross the sirat. Ala kullin, the Shaykh goes on to mention, Hafidhahullah Ta'ala. So they will go across this. يَمُرُّ النَّاسِ عَلَيْهِ عَلَى قَدْرِ أَعْمَالِهِمْ. تجزي بهم أعمالهم فوق الصراط. They're going to go across according to their actions. Their actions is that which is going to carry them over their sirat. Okay, so how we say that which will give to them momentum over their sirat will be the actions. You understand what I mean? Right, it's the actions that which is going to be the driving force that will move them over their sirat. You understand? The actions. So if the actions are really, really good, then a person is going to, go across very, very fast, and so on and so forth. So they will break down into various types. The Shaykh he mentions with regards to the speed. The Shaykh he says, فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَمُرُّ كَالْبَرْقِ. So from them there'll be those who will go across like lightning. Naam, كَالْبَرْقِ الْخَاطِفِ, right? Like a streak of lightning. Now, a streak of lightning. You ever see a streak of lightning? Is that slow? How's the speed on that? Fast, right? What do they say? Like blink of an eye or less. Very fast. Boom, it's over. So some they're gonna go across like that. Who wants that speed level? Who wants that speed level? All of us, right? All of us, right? I guess that's the better question. Who doesn't? Everybody wants that, right? Because that, you go across that quickly, right? Alhamdulillah. That's what you're looking for, right? To go across, boom, it's done. It's over. طيب. ومنهم من يمر كالريح. And some gonna go across like a fast wind. Fast wind. Pretty fast, right? But it's not like a streak of lightning. It's pretty fast. No, but there's no streak of lightning. طيب. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us of those who go across like a streak of lightning. Streak of lightning. Naam. طيب. So this is the second type. So the first type is what? How fast are you going to go across? Like lightning. Second type, how fast are you going to go across? Like a fast wind, right? طيب. ومنهم من يمر كالفرس الجواد. And then you have from them those who will go across like a racehorse. Racehorses are fast, right? Not faster than me and you can run, right? That's pretty fast. But still, you want what? Lightning. The lightning. So if you want that lightning, then you got to do what? You got to bring forth lightning grade speed, right? You want the lightning, then you got to bring forth the deeds. That's lightning speed deeds. How you gonna get the lightning speed deeds? You gotta believe correctly, right? Have to believe correctly. You have to have the correct methodology. Sah wa la? Sah? Wait, what else? What you think? What else? What else you gotta do? Do all the 5 pillars of Islam. Naam. Pay the zakat and all the 5 pillars. That's what everybody he said. Jazakallahu khairah. Naam, what else? Naam, you have to be patient inside dunya. Be patient upon righteousness. Be patient in staying away from sin. Be patient upon calamities. Naam, what else? Don't be a hypocrite. Naam, taban. Don't be a hypocrite. Naam. So you have to be one who's what? Who's Siddiq, one who's sincere. Naam, what else? Naam, teach others what you learn from khair, right? But it's after you what? You yourself are doing it, right? You yourself are doing it as well. Wait, what else? Huh? Abide by the sunnah? Naam, ahsant. Bila shak, gotta abide by the sunnah Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Naam, and so on and so forth. Naam, you have to be a good Muslim. Yeah. If you want that lightning speed, then you got to bring the deeds. That's gonna provide that lightning speed, and no doubt these are good deeds. What about standing up at nighttime and praying while the people sleeping? What you think? How much of that you gonna want to do to get this type of speed? A little bit or a lot? A lot. Now, so how much are we doing? Don't answer, but to yourself. Only answer to yourself. So how much of this are we really doing? Naam. You see that? Naam. What do you say? Huh? A lot of fasting? Naam. A lot of fasting. A lot of fasting, it gets you that greater speed, right? A lot of fasting. So how much of voluntary fasting are we really doing? When Ramadan comes, how excellent are we fasting in Ramadan? And so on and so forth. So I want you to think about these things. Think about these realities, because this is going to happen. This is going to happen. I want you to think about these things now. Am I doing the type of deeds that provide lightning speed? I want you to contemplate on that. Am I doing the type of deeds that are going to provide lightning speed? That's something we really have to think about and work hard on, inshallah ta'ala. So, thirdly, we mentioned they're going to go across like what? Like a racehorse. Naam, ahsant. Fourthly, the Shaykh, he says, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَمُرُّ كَرُكَّابِ الْإِبِلِ. There are those who are going to go across like the riders of camels. Camel speed. Right? Because who's faster, camel or horse? Horse. Right? Horse. But a camel's still pretty fast. Right? So you have from them those who are going to go like camel speed. Now, and camel speed is good, alhamdulillah. But we want lightning speed. Right? Like we don't want to hear nothing but lightning speed, correct? So we got to make sure we working hard doing the lightning speed type of deeds. And that and going across like a camel, that what number was that one? 4. That was number 4. So number 5, the Shaykh he mentions, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَعْدُ عُدْوًا. There are from them those who will go across like a fast racer. Like a fast racer. So you think of the fastest racer right now, fastest person running on earth, sprinting, whatever. He's not faster than a camel. He can't outrun a horse, But he's still pretty fast. Still pretty fast. But again, do we want this speed? No, we want what? Lightning speed, which means we got to bring forth deeds that are going to equal that lightning speed, that lightning speed deeds. Now, 6, the Shaykh he mentions, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَمْشِي مَشْيًا. There are those who want to just walk across it. Speed of walking. Speed of walking. That sound like something you want to do? You want to walk across that? Nah. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَزْحَفُ زَحْفًا. And from them there are those who are going to go across crawling. Now, because this one, his deeds, not so much, right? Not so much good. So he goes across crawling. Now, going across crawling. Now, and this is which number is this one? 6, 7, which one? 7. Now, 7. And number 8, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يُخْطَفُ وَيُلْقَى فِي جَهَنَّمْ. And from them there are those who are going to be snatched off of it. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he said that on the sides of it are hooks. The hooks on the side of the sirat. So from them are those who are going to be snatched off of it by these hooks. And then thrown inside the hellfire. Snatched off and thrown inside the hellfire. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us of being from this lot. Naam. فَهَذَا مَذْكُورٌ فِي الْقُرْآنِ. The Shaykh he says, and this has been mentioned in the Qur'an. And this is in Surah Al-Maryam. And it's verse 68 on to 71. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, فَوَرَبِّكَ لَنَحْشُرَنَّهُمْ وَالشَّيَاطِينَ ثُمَّ لَنُحْضِرَنَّهُمْ حَوْلَ جَهَنَّمْ جِثِيًّا. and by your Lord, surely we shall gather them together, and also the shayateen. Then we shall bring them round the hell on their knees. ثم لننزعن من كل شيعة أيهم أشد على الرحمن عتيا. And then indeed we shall drag out from every sect all of those who are the worst in obstinate rebellion against the most merciful. Those who went against Ar-Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those who didn't want to live their lives according to Islam. Those who rather disbelief over belief. Allah Ta'ala goes on and He says, ثُمَّ لَنَحْنُ أَعْلَمُ بِالَّذِينَ هُمْ أَوْلَى بِهَا صِلِيًّا. And then verily we know best those who are the most worthy of being burnt therein. وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا. And there is not one from amongst you except that he will pass over it. Istami'u. Allah Ta'ala, He says, وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا. And there is none of us except we're going to pass over it. Now, I want you to understand this. There is no way out from this. There is no getting around this. We're going to pass over this. Allah Ta'ala, He says, and there is none from amongst you, there is not one of you except he will pass over it. What is that it? What is that it here? No. Remember, the sirat is over what? Jahannam. Naam. So there's not a single one of us except we're going to have to pass over the hellfire. This is serious now. Right? This is serious. There's not a single one from amongst us except he will have to pass over the hellfire. This is serious now. So when one reflects upon this reality, he realizes that what? I gotta get my deeds up. I gotta, get the sins down and the tawbah more. I gotta decrease in the sins and increase in tawbah. I have to increase in doing righteous good deeds. I have to increase in making sure I'm steady upon the obligatory affairs. And I'm increasing in what? In voluntary actions and deeds. This is a must now, because there's not a single one from amongst us except that what? He will pass over the Jahannam. And some of human beings, they're going to be plunged into it, snatched off and plunged into it. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He saves us from being of these ones. Ameen. And once the people have gotten past the sirat, the Shaykh, he says, فَإِذَا تَجَاوَزُوا الصِّرَاطِ أُوقِفُوا لِلْقِصَاصِ. And once they have gotten past the sirat, then they will be stopped. It's not that you over the sirat and you straight into the Jannah. No. They get past the sirat. Now they're going to be halted. They're going to be halted to what? To hash things out. Settle it out. يُقْتَصُ بِبَعْضِهِمْ مِنْ بَعْضٍ. And there they will settle their grievances. Because see, they're going to be people that make it past this sirat, but they still might have a grievance with somebody else. They might have an issue with somebody else. Right? You understand what I mean? They might have a problem with somebody. They still might have an ongoing thing with somebody. So now you done made it all this way. Hash it out. Got to settle it. You understand? And when one person, when he really is thinking about the Jannah, he's doing things fi sabilillah, because he wants, he wants to be the occupants of the Jannah and the like. Then you realize what? There's no person on earth who's worth it to make it all the way past the sirat And then now you got to stand there and hash it out with this joker. Ain't no one worth that. You understand what I mean? There's no issue that's that big that's going to stop me and hold me up and stutter my step when it comes to get into the Jannah. Sahulillah. It's like if a person said, look, they open up the door for you, right? To Jiyaanee, what do you say? Like a treasure. Right? It's like a treasure. Gold, diamonds, rubies, money, all currencies. I mean, money you can't even count. It's beyond your math skills. You understand what I mean? They open it up for you, and then, right? You're trying to, you go through all this hardship and all this stuff, and you finally you see it. It's within your grasp. But now, hold up, stop, work it out with him, right? Work it out. You have a problem with this person. You got to settle it first before you can have this. Settle your issue you have with them. Make up, rectify it. Before you can go in, before you can get it, rectify it. Of course, right? You, as an individual in dunya, you understand? What are you going to say? Man, it's over. I don't care. I don't care. You ran over my cat, trying to go to work, you backed over it. La bas. I don't care no more. Right? I don't care no more. Sahulillah. You're not going to care. You spoke bad about me, whatever. Whatever. I don't care. You understand? Because what? Because you want to get to that dues, you want to get to that money and this and that. Now, when you compare that to what? To the Jannah, it's nothing. The jewels, all the jewels and money in the world is nothing compared to the Jannah. Now, all the money and the gold and the silver and everything, the platinum is nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. But I want you to keep this in mind, this reality, that those who make it past the sirat, they're going to have to hash out any problems they had with the believers. So that brings you to the thing, what you want to hash this stuff out now, because after you, and we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who go over the sirat like lightning. After you make it all that way, you don't want to have to be halted to have to hash anything out or to settle anything. You want to go straight into the Jannah. Nah? So this is something I want us to have on our minds when issues occur between individuals, between our brothers and our sisters in Islam, to have on our minds that it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Nah? It's not worth it. Nah? Ala kullin, the Shaykh, he says, فَإِذَا خُذِّبُوا وَنُقُّوا أُذِنَ لَهُمْ فِي دُخُولِ الْجَنَّةِ. And only after they have been cleaned and purified will they be allowed and permitted to enter into the Jannah. And we ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He makes us of those who enter into the Jannah. And this brings to a conclusion the Shaykh's discussion, the Fadilat al-Shaykh al-Allama, Shaykh Salih al-Fawzan, hafidhahullah ta'ala. This brings to a conclusion his discussion on the fifth pillar, or the fifth article from the pillars and the articles of al-Iman. فنكتفي بهذا القدر وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.